Hey there, friends. Pastor Dave here with another weekly devotion for all the saints. Hope you're doing well this week. I want to share a quick reading from Max Lucado's You Can Count on God to get us thinking here on this first week of Lent. This isn't a Lenten devotional per se, but maybe it has some relevance. You'll see what I mean. It starts with a quote from Hebrews 13. Do not neglect to do good and to share what you have, for such sacrifices are pleasing to God. Albert is a mail carrier in Waco, Texas. He makes daily deliveries to the furniture store where my daughter Sarah used to work. The store was wildly successful. Being a startup, the business had a constant level of chaos. Employees were on their feet all day. It could be a stressful place. That's why they loved Albert. Sarah described his arrival as the high point of the day. She remembers he'd ask how each of us was doing. He looked us in the eyes and said, "God bless you." Albert delivers more than mail. He delivers happiness. I'd like to challenge you to do the same. Here's my idea. Set out to alter the joy level of 100 people over the next 40 days. Pray for people. Serve more. Practice patience. Bring out the best in others. Keep a journal in which you describe the encounter and what you did. What was the setting? What did you learn? At the end of 40 days, would your world be different? Would you be different? I can tell you I took my own challenge, and I certainly am. You know, saints, we all want to change the world, don't we? As Christians, it's part of our calling. We think of ourselves as people who are called to make a difference. But we also get confused about that sometimes. We have a kind of a hero complex where growing up on Hollywood movies and competitive sports, we think of changing the world or of being the hero as something that requires extraordinary effort. It requires us to do something incredible, so far beyond the bounds of the ordinary that most people never get there. And we end up feeling disappointed with ourselves because we aren't those kind of change makers, those heroic figures. But the truth is, changing the world can be much more everyday and much more individual. Albert, the mail carrier, changed the world around him, didn't he? He changed the attitudes and the dispositions of the people that he'd run into just doing his everyday work because of the attitude that he brought, because of the interest, the engagement that he brought to his interactions with all the people he ran into. He was remembered for the way that he cared about others. Not because he saved the day in some incredible way, not because he invented something that changed all of our lives, not because he was one of those heroic figures, but because he was an everyday saint, someone who cared for others in a tangible way. I think we can do that. I think we could all do that with the interactions, with the friendships, with the connections that we have in our own lives. And maybe when he says, do this for 100 people in the next 40 days, you feel like, well, that's way too many. That's too high a bar. Maybe even 50 is too many. I don't know what the right number is for each of us, but I know that we all interact with probably more people than we realize in any given day. The cashier who's checking you out at the grocery store, the person on the other end of the phone for that customer support call that you have to make, the person who is coaching your kid's team, the folks you run into at class or at the gym. We all have probably dozens of interactions with people throughout the day, and every one of them is a chance for us to make a deliberate choice to interact and to engage in ways that would improve their life or improve just their day. Ask them what you could pray for. Ask them what's going on. Ask them what they're down about or what they could use some support for. Ask them what they're excited about, what has got them feeling good. Ask them where they've seen God lately. There are so many ways that we could engage people just a little bit differently that I think would truly turn their day in a different direction and maybe even change the world a little bit. Saints, that's your devotion for this week. I hope it's helpful, worth thinking about. I hope you are doing well, staying healthy, and I'll be praying for you. Please keep praying for me. I'll see y'all again soon. Take care, Saints.